Well, welcome back, my friends, to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Cutlery. Hey, 22 veterans a day in this country take their own lives. Vets, the only thing I can tell you guys is I love you. You have a place here. Man, woman, whatever. If you are a veteran, you are welcome here. We back to blue over here. We support Leo. Scab, how in the world do you do that, son? Well, we don't break the damn law. And finally, if you are an addict, never quit quitting. Well, today, boys and girls, we are doing the RMJ Ucap made by Ryan M. Johnson. He is really well known for his tomahawks. He also does a lot of designs for CRKT. And I have several of his CRKT tomahawk designs. Awesome, awesome knives. Now this is this blade is a 4 inches. It's about a 4 1/4 handle. It's got the scallop G10. I've gotten used to this handle. Well, I'd say it's right at 4 inches. It's a little smaller than I like, but you know what? The better I've learned knives, and the more I've learned knives, and the more I've used this knife, the more I love this knife. It is a clip point. Now the steel, y'all are going to have to help me out a little bit here. It's Nitro V or Nitro 5. I don't know how you pronounce that. Kydex sheath. Of course, old Scabber's carrying it. Look at that. Scout carry. Son, did you see the quickness of that draw? Now I'm going to, throw it and miss. There you go. I'm sure Ryan's just proud as punch at that. But that's more my fault. Now, it's about an 1/8 inch thick. 59 to 60 Rockwell hardness, I believe. Now, right here we're doing the Donnie B all day drop test. The Donnie B all day throw it at the stump test. 2 good tests. Now, what that's doing, guys, is testing the balance of the knife. This is a great knife in hand. I love the feel of it. I love the way it's carried. You can carry it Scout. You can carry it regular. It's MOLLE compatible. It's a multifunctional design on the carry. Now right here we just got a little piece of 2x4 or something, and you see right there, you seen the initial sharpness on the paper. I used the strop that DJ Horn sent me. Stropped it up really well. It cut the paper really well, razor sharp. Now right here I put a 20-degree edge bevel on it, okay? I've had this knife for a year and a half now, maybe 2 years, right in there. It is a great knife, great slicer. I love it a lot. Now, we're going to do different tests. We're going to do the Donnie B all day stab test. Right there, I just wanted to throw it a little bit, pretty good penetration, but let's do some good stabs with it. All that is just folded up cardboard with duct tape wrapped around it. You're going, yeah, no doubt, Scab, attaboy. But it's super thick, and it's a good test for this knife. Got some good penetration on it. You're going to with a clip point, okay? Right there, another good stab. I turned it around a couple different ways in my hand. At no point, and I can tell y'all this honestly, at no point did I feel like the knife was going to slip or slide or anything. And it's hot and it's muggy in Florida. There's a little guard right there that I really, really like. Kind of a slight choil with a guard. Really, really comfortable in hand on the stabs. No hot spots. None whatsoever. And there little Scab got the purple rag there for my boy E. Now we're going to take some ropey rope right here, and let's just see what we got. Oh, son, twainage. Cut it, slap in twain. Look at that. Scab's concentrating. He's serious about this thing. Really putting in some work here. Now, I've done a lot with this blade. This is one of my typical about 15.5-minute long videos. We put this blade through a lot. Why? Because it's a $250 blade, and it should be put through a lot. I can tell you it held up well. Here we're just kind of doing like some little curly cues, not really feather sticking. I will say this, I got this thing so sharp, if you're not careful, I'm twisting the stick there because it'll take a bite, and I really, on these tests, I don't like having to jerk that wood or anything like that, and that was no pun intended there. You know what I'm saying? So, and right here we're doing some feather sticking, but you notice now it's getting such a bite, we're going to feather stick this thing in half, son. Very comfortable in hand. Again, the first review I did on this knife, I complained about the handle length. Again, as my skill set came up, it's gotten a lot easier to use. So therefore, what do we conclude? Well, it wasn't the handle, it was my skill set. And I'm not all the way there yet. I'm learning every day. But super comfortable knife. Now that was an old piece of, that's just like an oak limb. Here's another piece of oak that I've had for a long time. Make a spear out of it, make some spongy sticks. Y'all can see it, dude. It has rained every single day, which is just super enjoyable because it brings out the swamp ass in everybody here in the great state of Florida. Now, I would say, you know, you could carry this knife. I read somewhere where when Ryan was testing this, he actually had a SWAT guy come in, and the SWAT guy put his input into this knife. I read it was for defensive purposes. Y'all know how I feel about that. I feel like a knife is an offensive weapon. This is absolutely a weapon, but again, they made it illegal some centuries ago to stab people, so I couldn't really test it that way. I mean, you know, I would if they'd let me, but they don't. So, having said that, we can't do some stabby stabs, so we'll just do some bushcrafty stuff, which I've told y'all many, many times is camping. Now, the one thing that y'all know that I do in every video is I try to cut as many different types of material as I can. Why? I want to show the versatility of the blade. I don't want to, you know, just cut wood or just cut some string and go, whoops, there you go. I want to cut a lot of different stuff. I want to try to dull that blade if we can. How long does the edge hold up? That kind of thing. And I will tell y'all this knife stayed sharp through this entire session. And for 15 minutes, it's about an hour to 2 hours, 3 hours worth of being in the woods or out by the stump or wherever. And again, right here, just to show some sharpness, just kind of dragging that hose, and y'all can see this thing's super sharp. I call this a secondary knife, and there's another kind of material. I call it a secondary knife because it's a small to mid-size. I'd say more on the small side, but tremendous knife. Can you survive with it? I would think so. Can you defend yourself with it? We answered that with the butter knife last week. Yeah, unless you're a moron, you can defend yourself with it. And some people are just morons. Not my subscribers, obviously, but there are some out there that are. We run into them every day on the road. So, right here, we're cutting this bottle. I'm super impressed with this knife. And y'all know I have to be because I've talked strictly about this knife for almost 8 minutes now. By now, normally I would have, and that's for you, Alex. By now, I would have gone all over the map. But I love the way this knife handles. It handles a lot. I have a Case Winkler Skinner that I love, man, a lot. I get the same kind of vibe. Totally different knives, totally different materials, totally different makes. But comfort in hand, ease of use, I get that kind of vibe. Matter of fact, I may do my Case Winkler Skinner one day this week. We did some light batoning here. I tried to baton as much as I could and get, you know, some of it. I tried to go through a couple knots. There wasn't no need to take some huge ass stick and just beat the hell out of the knife. The more I do this, the less I see the importance of that. But I did want to show y'all some batoning. I picked that up from my guy at Advanced Knife Bro, who actually batons with everything he's got, and I love it. So the batoning is kind of an ode to him. There I was trying to hit the stick into the stump, which only God knows why Old Scab does half of what I do. But it made me feel better. And, you know, right there, took a lot of concentration right here on Old Scab. Now, let me say this. Last night, we unveiled, Joe from Steel Forged and Fire Sword and Knife and I unveiled our collaboration. We are going to move forward with it. Guys, when I say it was a trial run, I don't think y'all understand. We didn't even know if we were going to post it. We just turned on the camera, started talking. We both know that there's got to be some audio glitches taken out. Joe is a mastermind at editing. And for anybody that thinks he's not, you're out of your mind. He did my intro. He is the genius behind it. I also know my camera angle was off and not to have a damn mirror behind me. Those two things we know. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback, a lot, and we're going to try to implement as much as we can. And to you guys who have messaged me and gave me input, dude, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I'm not going to get into who, that doesn't matter. I'll just say this. It's the same guys who always message, make sure I'm okay. They check on me, and I'm forever thankful to you guys. Now, look here. We're just doing some feather sticking. I am really, really impressed with this knife. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Now, Megatron just asked if I could go to the dollar store and get some spaghetti. That threw me off there. Yes, dear, I'll be glad to. Let me finish this up real quick. Yeah, that girl can cook, son. She makes some of the best damn spaghetti in the history of the world, son. Now, let me say this. Back to Joe and I's collaboration. We're going to move forward. We're going to try to have some guys, some of the brothers in the blade on, obviously. We're going to try to have some bigger guests on, and we're going to try to improve each and every show. Now, does that mean we're shutting the channels down? No, absolutely not. That is to supplement our channels. We both have the same vision of growing, and I really, 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 again, appreciate all the support. All of it, man. It's huge to me. I am forever thankful for that. Now, having said that, we're hitting some of these palmettos with the RMJ. Now, it's a 4-inch blade, but it's probably 3 3/4 cutting surface. So not a huge knife. It's not a chopper. This is my therapy right here, guys. Just being in the woods, and to all the tree hugging friends that I have, and I have many, 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 all of this stuff is going to come out. I don't cut down stuff I don't need to, or stuff that if they were never going to touch this forest, I would probably keep doing what I was doing, but that's because we cut down hackenberries. We don't cut down pines or oaks or anything like that. Hackenberries and palmettos. I feel like the world can live without them. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. Now, y'all will notice that through this whole time, it's just been straight solid testing. I cannot recommend this knife enough. If you just need a good little scout carry, I carry mine on my side. Simply, I wear longer t-shirts or whatever. I can pull them down. I like the comfort. I like the feel of it. I like the way it deploys quickly. I like the clip point. The Scallop G10 is awesome. I have no idea. Well, I'm in the woods. That's what we're going to go with while I got my socks pulled up to my knees. It's also because I'm 50 and look like I'm out there wearing a pair of culottes. So you just bear with me. Now here's another hackberry. And just doing some light chopping right here. Megatron, yes, I'll go. Doing some light chopping right here. And y'all will see how that works. We made a few punji sticks for the neighborhood kids to play with. That's always a great joy and great time. I support neighborhood and community. Just like I do the knife community. I make them all a bunch of swords and punji sticks to play with. And hopefully they don't tell their parents. So there you go. Now, right here again, this is just my therapy, guys. Just in the woods, doing some light chopping, showing the capabilities of this knife. I love this knife. I love this knife. I loved it. Somebody says, Gab, you love the knife? I do. I hate them binds, but I love the knife. It is the RMJ Ucap. Mr. Johnson, my friend, I know you watch all these intently. You hit a home run, my brother. Well, guys, listen, we got about a minute and a half left, so let's take care of last orders of business. Looking good there, Scab. Yep, we see what you're doing there. I mentioned earlier about Carl Ruger's father. Please go to that video and go to the link in the description and just send Carl a word of love if you have not already. He messaged me and said he wants everybody to know how much he's appreciative for our thoughts and our words and what it means to him. So, again, just go check that out. Be there for him. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, we're going live. Now, once this video posts, guys, sometime tonight you're probably going to see me go live. It's just a test run. You hadn't missed anything. Tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we're going live. Well, guys, listen. My guy Mikey says it best. Mikey from Cerebral Ballsy is the name of his YouTube channel. So Scab, never give up, never surrender, and everything will be okay. And Mikey's true. Well, we're going to wrap it up. RMJ Ucap, it's a home run. I love it. I can't find the sheath there, but, and of course I decided to leave this part in because I'm a moron. Well, guys, I love you. I'm Scab. You're not.